everyone, this is Maria with Maria's Crafting Corner. Welcome to another paper crafting video. I am so excited you guys are here. I actually was supposed to add my comments here. I got it, guys. I'm so excited about this new, this new software compared to what I had before. This is like amazing. So I see Suze and Adrian and Carrie and Kiwi. I'm looking at my iPad that now I have here. Um, so I can actually see the interaction. Hi, Louise. I hear about a chicken breast recipe, and that sounds really amazing. Thank you, Suze. I will love that. That sounds amazing. Um, and again, I am just really excited that you guys are all here. So let's see. Woof, a lot. Doesn't like, don't you feel like every time we start this conversation, it's like a lot is happening, stamping up, but yeah, a lot is happening. So we've had uh, and I think no, there is an paper cardstock increase coming. So for those of you that really like our cardstock, this is the time to stock on it. So I just wanted to bring that out to you guys because yeah, it is going to really steep or get more expensive. I don't have the details. They have all the details. All the really good demonstrators know about that. The only one that really initially impacted me was the thick, so the thick white thick cardstock, because I use it so much for coloring, right? And since I am an independent stamp demonstrator, I don't want to promote any other um cardstock. They initially said, hey, how are you? They initially said that they were going to keep the white cardstock but make it 12 by 12, or just the thick white cardstock and just keep it 12 by 12. And then I saw something today that they kind of they had to rethink that a little bit. And so I believe, sorry, it was a really busy day. Hi, Tina. And I was not able to like pay specific attention. But I did, but it seems like they are just going to keep the regular, um, 8.5 by 11 cardstock, just, as we've had it today. They're going to be increasing the price, and there also seems to be that they're going to be decreasing the amount of paper or pieces that are within each packet. So lots of changes regarding to that. I know that it's not ideal. A lot of people are complaining. The truth is, I think we have to really be mindful, right? There's a lot happening in the world now, and there is a lot happening also just in general with the economics and the tariffs. And guys, there's just all these things going on. Prices have gone up and up and up everywhere else. It just makes kind of sense that it will do also impact just cardstock and stamping up. So although it's not the best of news, it is certainly something kind of logical that was going to happen. Or maybe I'm like, okay, fine, that's happening. I mean, of course, it will affect. Hi, Anita. It will affect a lot of the people that make tons of cards every, month, 70 or 80. I remember seeing a demonstrator talking about it and saying that she made like 80 or however many cards a month, and that will certainly impact your ability to do something like that. But I just want to bring it out, guys, so you have at least that knowledge. So it's out there now. Obviously, as we get close to the launching of the new catalog, which would be May, we are going to have retiring the 2023-2025 in colors. I loved some of them. I particularly love Wild Wheat in Boho Blue. I'm really sad at the idea of losing Boho Blue. But I'm just saying that out loud again, so you guys stock on it if there's one of them that you're really into and that you want to just keep using. you know, as time goes on. So just a couple of things. Now I want to bring this. I'm still feel so professional, guys. So hopefully all these transitions go smoothly. These are the new kits for the month. One is called Dot. I don't want to even try to pronounce it. I think I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, but this is Ocean Views. And it seems like a really beautiful option. I think I like this one better, and it's called Welcoming Gardening or Welcoming Garden. It's cut in there, but I like that one very much. That is definitely one of the things I like the most: gardening and flowers. And those of you who know me, so I just want to bring it out to your attention. So if you're interested, they are available. And I wanted to show you also real quick. This is the new or the coming paper pumpkin kit. If you are interested in it, I really like it. It's called Inktocations, and it's a funny thing. I like the colors. Sometimes I don't like ink spots as much as I think I'm going to. But so far, all of the paper pumpkin kits have been really good. Like, just in general, I like them. And so I'm just hoping that this one is good as well. And I think that's it for now. I want to show you, of course, if I manage to find the thing where it was. And now I can't find it. Let me see if I can find it somewhere. Oh, that is so not cool. Looks like I got rid of it. That's not surprising, but yeah. Okay, we're gonna do it anyways, and we're gonna hope it works and see how that goes. So I'm gonna show you my my screen. So I'm just gonna share real quick my screen. Hopefully you can see it. No, you can see it. So, oh, just kidding. Let me move in here. Let's see. So I can show you where I found the card that we're going to be making today. And no, it's not working well. Okay. I will not be able to do that today, it looks like. So let's avoid it. It's very sad. Hi, Elizabeth. I am sorry I cannot share. I can actually do this though. The YouTube channel, it's from my YouTube channel, and it is called like NGOC Vang, something along those lines. But I am gonna drop in here in the comments. I'm gonna thank you. I'm gonna paste her link, and let me see if that works. Okay, that's the link of the YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I deleted the scene where I showed the actual piece, and now you're seeing me twice. It happens. Okay, let's go to the crafting table. Hopefully this works as well. There we go. That looks okay. Phew. Okay, guys. So if you go to that link, you're going to see more or less what happened. I mean, what the card looks like. It's very cool card. It takes a little bit of work. We're going to get on it, so we get, hopefully to finish it. I'm going to start by showing you what I am going to be using, and I'm going to be using the Wildflower Celebration Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. That's a long name. And the paper. So I told you guys I've been buying very slowly things, just really thinking and being mindful of what I like, because I tend to like a lot of things. And so at the beginning, this is a funny story. I saw this. I was like, yeah, it's cool. It's beautiful. It's got gold. So I like it, but it's going to be okay, fine. And I didn't really looked further into it. And then I don't know why one day I was like, oh, I'm just going to really look into it and look how it looks and, pay attention to it. And I really like it. I like the paper. You've all probably seen all the papers, with all the other demonstrators, but it does have some beautiful paper. The color combination is beautiful too. It's mainly Pretty in Pink, Pool Party, not Mellow Mambo. I'm thinking of all colors. Let's see, Blueberry Bushel, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Pool Party, Pretty in Pink, and Soft Seafoam. And all in all, I have to say the color combination is really, really nice and neat. There are, actually, I'm going to show you because that's a funny thing that happened. A while back, I had colored these. Let me see if I find it. It's got to be here. Yeah, I had colored these. And I really love how it looked, but I was not able, like this ended up looking very soft sea for me, and this was not really petal pink. It was, I don't know, it was just one of those times that you color and color, and when you realize there's nothing that matches the color. Well, their paper in here is actually matching that, and I was super excited when I saw that. Let me show you. Let's see if it comes up quickly, and I'll show you. Okay, this is the one. So on this side, on the B side, we have these colors, and isn't that crazy? It's just more or less the same colors. So I'm very excited. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this just yet, but I'm very excited because at least I have this. And there is a couple of other pieces of the DSP that just have the soft seafoam, and so all in all, I'm really pleased that I got it. Like, at the beginning I was like and then I'm like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. So just putting it out there. And I know that I have to say something, and I'm gonna say it anyways. I am in the end a scrapbooker at heart. I think that is part of the things I love. And I kind of love those workshop kits that they are selling, to be fully honest. I do like having pieces to put around places. It makes bigger bigger projects, a little bit like the one we're doing today, so much easier, because you just like can you know, take one little piece and put it here, or stickers or whatever. But of course, if you prefer other things, that's perfect. I in all love these sets. So the other thing is, I think we're going to be using this Happy Birthday. This is from Arch Wishes. Really beautiful. I have to tell you guys, I was not thinking, I don't know, I was not very sure of getting the Arch dies, and then after a while I was like, okay, I like arches, why am I not getting it? So I ended up getting the arches, and so I got these and the other one that have like the sentiments wrapping around that seems to be like a really good option. And of course, I would love to try to color this little cake here. It's gonna be cute. So that's what we're going to be using today. We're going to start with a piece, and this piece measures 9/7/8 by 6. Let me go back a tiny bit. So truthfully, from that, so I showed you the video. She, same as usual, she works in centimeters. So I did the translation, 2 inches. It always takes a little bit of playing around, right? Because sometimes it does not work as well as you're hoping, that the measurements, right? I did all the changes I could, and then I made the first card, and I just made one card, and I saw a couple of things that I needed to change. And hi Kim, welcome. And so I ended up deciding to make a couple of extra changes. So, you know, it's definitely her creation, definitely her idea. I don't know if she got it from somewhere else, but I would say that we made a couple of corrections there just to make it more useful. This is going to be almost a slimline. It's not a regular slimline because this is 6 inches instead of 8.5 or something. But I don't see an issue in making these, let's say, 7 inches, and you'll see what I mean later on. Like, I don't think the length or of the card, or this part of the card, will make any difference in the functionality of the mechanism. So just something to think about. Actually, when the other one, the first card I did was at 5 7/8, and I just increased this one to 6, and so we're gonna try it together. So hopefully it works, and if it doesn't work, well, here we are. Okay, so these piece, like I mentioned, is Pool Party, and it measures 9 7/8 by 6, and we're going to start placing horizontal and scoring at 3 1/8. Okay, let me remove the cutting because we don't need that. So 3 1/8, 3 3/8. So going back in here, and then we're gonna go to 5 3/8. And there's the 5 3/8. Okay, that one does not need to be like a really strong folding. It's more like a marker. And I'm gonna open our arm here. We're gonna go to 6 1/2, and there's 6 1/2. Yeah, 6 1/2. We're going to score, and we're gonna go to 6 3/4. Okay, so that is the first one. And actually I had to also, okay, I made something wrong. I can tell just from my scoring. This one is here. So, okay, let me see. Oh, I know what it is. It's not cut all the way. So we said it's 9 7/8. That is so funny, Maria. Okay, so I thought I had cut this piece. Obviously I had not. Okay, there you go. And I already got it dirty here. Let's see if this erases it. I'm not totally concerned because that's going to be covered with layers. So we're going to review again if this is accurate. So we said 3 3/8, then 5 3/8. I'm just making sure this is 5 3/8, and 6 1/2. That somehow seems closer. Like those two are okay. Maybe I'm not seeing it correctly. These and these two panels need to be the same. So we're going to go ahead and bring our bone folder, and we're going to fold this. And this is going to be folded bally, so bally. Or if, you know, whatever, sometimes people are like, oh, is that mount, is that bally? I'm just going to say it's bally, and we're going to fold bally the first score line, bally the second score line. We are not going to touch this score line here. We're going to, I just want to measure this to see if it's correct, guys. Then we're going to go to the 4th score line, and then to the 5th score line. So it's just that one in the middle that we're not going to score. Okay, I just want to make sure that these two panels are similar, and sometimes it's harder to see. It seems like they are. Okay, so now that we have that, and I'm sure about that, we are going to turn these vertically, and we're going to go to 1 1/4. So there it is, 1 1/4. And what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to score between the second and the, let me see, the second and the 4th score lines. So pretty much, let me bring this. So what we have here, it's, you know, 2 areas where we are, that allows us to fold this, right? So that way, so we're going to score between the 2nd and the 4th one. So between those 2 lines that make the space for making it fold, making it easier to fold. So again, we're going to go to 1, there is 1 1/4. And we're going to score between those 2 lines. Let me make sure this is straight, because it is important that it is straight. You will notice if it's not straight. Let me tell you how I know. So we're going to score again between those 2. And this is mostly a marker. I just want to really emphasize that this is mostly a marker. And I'm going to put an extra mark right here, just as a guidance for later. I may get confused while I'm doing the video, right? May pay less attention to what I'm doing, and I just want to kind of go there. Now, I have a piece of white. This piece is 5.5 by, no, 5 3/8 by 3.5. And I have it in white. I already have mine almost done there, but I want to score it here so I can like really write on it and so you guys can see what I am doing. So on horizontally, we're going to go to 3/4. Okay, and we're going to score. So we're going to score at 3/4. We're going to score at 2 5/8. At 3 5/8. Making sure I have the right, yeah. 3 5/8. And 4 5/8. Okay. And I have not said this, but all these measurements will be included in the post. I may put them down below, but I also wrote the post this time, so I'm very excited about that. So just so you know, so we're going to turn this here. Okay, so see that I'm turning like this, and this is going to be easier. So, and that's why I wanted, where's my pencil? Here it is. So when we started scoring these, this is where we scored first, right? So I'm going to put one here. But when we finish here, I'm going to turn this way, and this would be like the end place, and I'm going to put a number 2. And this is how I want to put it. So when I say put it vertically, it's not on this end that we scored initially, it's on the end that we scored last. I hope that makes sense, guys. And we are going to go ahead and align at 1. And we are going to score between the first and the third score line. Okay, so let me score and I'll show you. So align at 1 and score between those two. Okay, so there it is. So here's the first score line, here's the second one, and here's the third one. So we're just scoring between these two. Okay, and now we're going to move to 2.5 and do the same thing. Score between those two. And these, yes, please score, you know, with strength. Okay, let me show you up here. You can see. So we have a score line here. We have a score line here. There we go. And then we have these two. Okay. Now, I'm going to erase this because I just don't want to make it more confusing, all those lines there in your way. What we are going to do, and let me do this like that as well. Okay, I am going to mark, you're not going to see these marks anyway, but I'm going to mark here at the top. So where the horizontal, well, let's put it like that, where the horizontal score line and this vertical score line meet, I'm going to make a little dot. And then, just because I have struggles seeing, right, I'm going to make another dot at the end of this score line and at the end of the score line. And I will put this higher up so you can see better here in a minute. And we're going to do the same thing in here. So score line where those two lines, I dot where those two lines intersect, and 1 at the end of those score line. So let me bring this up here so I can show you better. So here's, you know, where those two intersect, there's a dot. And then where those two not bigger, I guess, how can I call this? So where these two score lines are, we're going to just mark at the bottom because we're going to score these. Okay, let me know if that does make sense at all. Remember that sometimes I get confused and I don't know how to explain things. And we did the same on the other side. So let me put it this way. So we have at the top where those two intersect, we have a dot, and then at the bottom at the end of each of the score lines. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up here, and I know this is not close enough. I wish I could make it closer. I need to work on that. I've not worked on that, so sorry about that. And where are we? Okay, I'm seeing it. So here I am looking in my view here and aligning those two dots, right? And we're going to score between them. And then we're going to score, actually, let me see, because do I have these? Oh yeah, it's ready already. And then we're going to move to the other side and do the same thing. And we're going to do the same thing on both ends. Okay, so we're just creating like triangles in those squares, and then we're going to do the same thing here. So align both dots, and that's why you need dots. Again, I'm going to say this: if you have really good eyesight, you don't necessarily need the dots. I don't, and so I need the dots as a guidance to do this, right? Bottom line, there we go. So let me bring it up here so you can see. So you'll end up with kind of a big triangle on each end. Okay, let me know if there are any questions. I'm going to move this out of the way and bring my pool party one, which is already scored. Okay, and we are going to, first of all, I'm going to, although nobody's going to see them, it takes me no time to erase the marks I already made, right? So I am erasing those, and we are going to, so this is the front, so you can see there's the score lines. I'm going to fold these panels, so the end panel is going to go valley, okay? And mountain, sorry. So this is the front, this goes mountain, then I'm making sure I have everything. This one goes mountain too. Oops. And then the last panel, so this panel in the back, that little panel, you can see it, that one is fold valley. So mountain, mountain, valley. Okay, there you go. Now we are going to, since these are together, we are going to fold these, right? I'm folding them like that and folding them like that. And I am guessing that by now you realize, right, that all these mechanisms kind of like function similarly, and they need triangles for whatever reason. So that's what I've learned. So now what we need is to put this one and this one. So we're going to put the triangle, we're going to divide, and we're going to push this together. And this is how we make the mechanism. So let's go back again. We have it like that. We push the triangles down and we close. These actually happened much faster than it happened the first couple of times I made it. First couple of times I made it, it was a disaster. It was a disaster several times. I had to do this several times before I actually finalized all the measurements. But I'm hoping this is going to work. Okay, so this is our mechanism. So we're going to go back in here, and we're going to add, the first thing I'm going to do though, before we move into adding these, is I'm going to start adding the layers. It's a little bit easier, especially in the back. So what's going to happen is this is going to go like this, and we're going to need, because this is me, right? We're going to need a layer. So we're going to need 5 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we're going to decorate those areas. The one in the middle does not need decorating. And of course, guys, I have a variety of things going on here that I have them already pretty set, so the video don't end up taking forever and a day. Let me go, before we move forward, no, I'm gonna leave that there and we'll talk about those in a minute. As you can tell, guys, I have all sorts of things. They are separated, so I remember what was what. Because I couldn't remember what I was thinking when I was thinking what would look good and all that good stuff. So that was my way to try to solve it, you know, and writing in the back. So I remember. So this piece is the one that's going to go in the back. You don't need to put in the back, but this scoring is going to be noticeable. So I figured I wanted these to have a layer. So I'm just saying, not needed, but it's going to work well. The other thing is you are going to need a either create a belly band or use ribbon, because I have a lot of ribbon, especially in Pool Party. I'm going to use some of the ribbon in here, and so I am going to bring a piece. Let's cut a piece, and we are going to, whoops, There we go. And we are going to fold this. So the back needs to be attached to the back, and this is where I'm going to attach it initially, right there. You can use other color. I thought initially of bringing Pretty Pink, which I have, but in the end, all the layers are pretty in pink, so I was not sure if I wanted that. So I think I'm gonna stick with the Pool Party, guys. There's other things you can use. Like, I really have a lot of Pool Party. I don't know why I have so many of them, but I have a lot of Pool Party ribbons. So I am, since this is a really big ribbon, I'm going to say this. Of course, I'm just like eyeballing where this goes, right? I'm bringing this one that is almost ½ inch, 3/8 of an inch. I'm kind of eyeballing where the center is. It does not have to be perfect. You guys know I'm not into perfection, but I'm going to at least attach that, and then we'll think about it later. Now let me move this, because I do need to make sure that this is closed correctly, guys, because give me 2 seconds. It's one of the things that happen when you are doing you know, cards. Okay, so let me see. What we are going to do to help us is, so remember where we put that little thingy? I am 2 seconds more. Just want to make sure that what I'm saying is true. So this card goes like this, okay? And I'm putting that so I remember that visually for when I put the rest of the stuff and the decorations. Of course, I was not supposed to do that while this was there, but that way I know that this needs to go here, and the one on the top is like the one that we're going to call the front. And so that way, and just because I'm going to put a front in here, and that just helps me again keep a visual of where I'm putting stuff. So this one goes here. What that means, and of course you probably figured that out, I do struggle with this sometimes, is that we don't need to attach these ribboning here. And that was pretty lame amount. No, I think that will work. Let's see if that works. Before we add anything, we're just going to make sure that this is actually a good amount of ribbon to make a bow. And I think it will work. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm going to bring my back in here. Now the advantage of this paper is that it does not have any direction for its pattern. So really, if you make a mistake initially, you can even like make it go through. Hey, so it has a back, so you can totally work with this all around without worrying about that. So I'm going to move this here. Again, it does not have a pattern direction, so you can just put it in without a concern. Because this ribbon is a little thick, I am going to hold this for a couple of seconds so it stays really well glued. And I'm actually going to bring, while that takes place, that dries, I'm going to bring the rest of the pieces just to tell you what are the pieces that we're going to need. So for the mechanism, here's the mechanism. We're going to need 2 pieces of, I have them here. So we're going to need 2 pieces. These are Pool Party that measure 2 by 2 and, let me see, 2 3/4. Let me make sure. Yes. So these measures 2 by 2 3/4. And then you're going to need a bigger one that measures 2 7/8 by 3.5. Okay, so those are the extra pieces from the mechanism. And again, I have them all kind of like sorted out, because otherwise it was going to be really complicated for the decorating. It is complicated because I am here and I'm live. It is not complicated to decorate, but well, and I'm OCD. So I also want this to look exactly like I have envisioned, and so I am not going to like risk it. There is an extra piece that you're going to need, and it is a piece that measures 5 3/8. But so it's 5 3/8 by 5 5/8, and it's scored on sorry guys, it's 5 3/4. Sorry about that. 5 3/4 by 5 5/8, and it's scored in the middle at the 5 3/4. So this is scored at 2 7/8. Okay, and again, all those measurements and all that good stuff is going to be both here and also linked to the blog hop, okay, or to the blog, not hop. Okay, I think this is probably ready, and I am going to bring the front. So remember, I already have the front defined. See, I was already grabbing it wrong, and this is going to be the front. And just because it's white, so I was going to add it, but now that I think about it, I'm not going to, because it's white and most likely it's going to get dirty. So I am going to leave that for later. Now, once this opens, okay, we're going to put at least these two pieces, and then we're going to add the mechanism and work on that. So I was lucky enough that this huge special day from the scrapbooking kit fit in here, and so all these are pieces that come in there, and this is a sticker, and I just love how this looks. I love the colors. I just love it. So this one is going to go on the top, and Maria is checking the only one that she made to make absolutely sure, because I don't want this to be messed up. So let's go ahead and add these here at the top. And this one initially was what I was thinking for the front, but I like it here. It's gonna work really, really well with the concept that I, that kind of developed as this is a birthday card, and I just really, really like it. Okay, and now I'm gonna put the one in the bottom. So we have two here at the bottom, and I have them in here. So this one, it says front, inside, bottom. Only Maria knows what that means, but I think this one is the one I wanted here, and that looks really beautiful. See, like the part of these card is kind of like you have to mix. It's like making a mini album in a sense, because you'll have to mix and match parts and make them all match. So this piece so these two have to match, or do well together, and then later on these all will have to match. And yeah, so it's got a few of those pieces, but again, it's just not that bad. I'm going to extend this in here. I'm going to put glue, and then, because you guys know me, I am going to get this back in here so I don't freak out. This is how this needs to go, because this paper has a direction, and so I have to be really mindful about that. This needs to go like this. Okay, so when this is open, this is going to look there, and it just looks really beautiful. Now this opens up in here, and we are going to add to that piece this other layer, and this one is going to go on the bottom down. Okay, let's go for these. Now I don't want to jinx it, but I think I finally figured out how to use the glue thingy. It has been a little bit of a frustrating process, I have to say. Okay, so we have, this is still the top. These and these, this does not have a pattern, so it doesn't really matter. This is going to go like this. Now, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to bring that piece that we have already scored, and we are going to decorate this. So these is going to go attached to our mechanism in here, and so we're going to decorate these front and these front. And see, I have one here. So I had already make a mark and a mark. And this is going to be tight, not too tight, glued together. So kind of what I was telling you. Well, Suze is talking about the chicken breast recipe that she it was talking at the early beginning. And I'm sorry I'm interrupting this, but I was thinking you if most people will like that, why don't you put it in the coloring corner in Facebook, right? That's probably a good idea. Let me know. Oh, Adrian. Well, anyways, yes, I will provide emails. Anyways, so this needs to go like this. The place where the both panels join, so the top, I'm gonna call it the top, needs to go that way. So again, just cause it doesn't hurt, this is the front or the top. And so this is going to come, so this comes like this, and this one is going to go in here. Now let me organize my thoughts in here. Yeah, so this panel is going to be folded like this. So again, if you feel confused, just put marks on it. So these needs to go or be placed like that. Okay, so that's one. And I'm going to wait a second here so these glues well. It's got to do, I just want to make sure. And then we're going to bring the second one, which by the way, I did not finish, as you guys can tell. I have here the pieces. So this is all paper that comes in that scrapbooking paper. I wanted something that is less flowery and glittery. And I am going to add it in here. And then we're going to decorate this panel. So I'm going to bring these, we're going to close this like this because that's how it's going to look like. And we are going to add this panel. And I am adding all the layers now because later on is going to be a little bit difficult, or it was difficult for me. If you're better with that, then by all means, right? I was just not, I didn't do very good a couple of times, and I was like, why am I making these much more complicated for myself? So what I have again, all these are little pieces from that scrapbooking workshop. And so they have these beautiful flowers, is the same petal pink, and so it's hard to see, right? It kind of like gets sucked by the background because it's the same color. So I figured that if we put one on top of the other but bring some color underneath, it will help us kind of define those flowers. And I have to say, if you are seeing these in the camera, it looks much more washed out than it does in real life. And then I have a little set in there, and I have not decided if I want this in here and maybe a sentiment here. We can think about that later. So I think I'm gonna leave it here like in the cornerish, and I'm gonna remove those and start adding my flowers. And we're going to start with I keep thinking Mellow Mambo. I know it's not Mellow Mambo, but I keep thinking of him. I guess Mellow Mambo was a color that I really liked, and I really miss it. So, I'm adding some of these really beautiful gold foliage here at the top, and I'm going to add this one as well and bring that one up there. So this is kind of going to guide how we're going to organize this. Now I'm going to bring one of them, and we are going to add it. I'm going to add one in there. And like I said, that helps. Hello, Renee. How are you? That helps us all putting those in the peach pie helps us kind of like make define this one. I don't know the word, but because I want more, I'm going to bring this blue in here, and now boom, we just got a lot of help there, right? And then I'm going to bring this one. That one kind of like played a trick on me. I put this one too close. So I may have to leave it like that. I want it. Sus, what panel? Sus is asking where will I add this. If you're talking about this panel, I'll show you here in a minute. So it looks like I needed to make this a little further in here, right? Because now I don't want to put that. That's not very good idea. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to leave that one there, but I'm going to bring some extra gold in there. And that I think looks really beautiful. Let me put it up close so you guys can see how cute it looks. And let's go ahead and add our blue. And then I'm going to bring the golden piece. And we are going to put this one in here. Kind of like that. I think I like it like that. So if we want to put like a little sentiment in here, we can. Okay, so this panel is ready. Now let's work on the mechanism. Here we are. So remember that we have put like, we have kind of like, I forgot the word of it, like a grid in here, like this one. Oh my God, yeah. Thank you, Louise. I appreciate that. It was Mango Melody. I don't know, Mellow Mambo, Mango Melody. I guess they both sound familiar to me. Whatever. So now we're going to bring our piece that we had already figured out in the past, right? Like the mechanism. And what we are going to do is we are going to add this piece just as it is, like this, in this corner. So right there in the corner. That's why we mark it, and that's why I put this there, so I can figure out that that goes right there. Okay, so I am going to bring for this, or kind of like the what I would call the thicker the mambo jambo of the tear and tapes. I know they actually make the inch wide, but that would be too much for me. I think I'll probably make a mess on those. And so I'm going to bring that, and I'm going to put two pieces just to make sure this glues well, because this is going to be part of the mechanism, and it needs a little bit of that strength, right? So I'm going to go there, bring my, take your pick, and we are going to adhere this. So we're going to make this back in there because it was extra. Okay, so just like this, we are going to adhere that right in this corner. I don't know if that you can see the corner. So that's, we created that grid so we can have that corner and put exactly where we need to place this. And so I am just really going to make it here. I'm putting that corner against corner, and guys, it's hard to do it so you can see, but hopefully these needs to be straight. So I'm not going to push it, and I'm just going to, let me show you here. If I put this in here, then you can see that this line is like really aligned to this core line in the middle. Can you see it? And you can see it's well aligned and it's not crooked. If it's crooked, it's going to choke crooked. You're not going to die if it shows cricket, right? Let's be honest. It'll be fine, but it's going to show cricket if it does. And I can show you the example because it shows a little bit. So I'm just putting it out there. It looks like I did a good job, so I'm going to go ahead and like push that, and hopefully we're good. Oh, Luis is saying, is there a small border around the panels once they are glued down? Watching on the phone. No, I don't think there's a border around the panels. If you are talking about these, it's not a border. What we created is a space. So these folds, when we fold it, you're able to hold all the layers I'm putting in it. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. but let me know. So we're gonna give this a second, and we're gonna bring some of those pieces that I showed you earlier, and they have to be glued, and I'm sorry about that. But these are just adding pieces, so it'll be fine. And what we have here is Pretty in Pink. I was gonna say Pretty Peacock, and then a piece of that beautiful DSP. And then there we go. We're just adding one piece. So it just looks so pretty. I really like that color combination of Pool Party and Pretty in Pink. I never thought about putting them together for whatever reason. So I'm really surprised how much I like it. Really, it's just funny. It happens. So, and I have been doing, by the way, I have been doing a lot of layers just in white, like the middle layer in white, but a lot of this paper is white, so I wanted something to create that contrast, right? And so if you put white on white, you know, it's harder to make that kind of definition of the borders. That's one thing. The other thing is, I think, and don't quote me because I have not totally made the test, but I think that most of the white in the workshops is the white willow. I always forget the name, guys. I know it's got willow on it. White willow. And so I just want to say that because I think that if you do our basic white, it's a little bit yellower, and then you'll kind of have a difference between those two. And I know not all the people care about that. I am the one, but I'm okay being the one. So that's fine. And I am checking in here, guys. You're probably laughing at what I'm doing. I'm actually looking at my other card to make sure I don't make mistakes. And so we're going to add, where is it? And I'm going to bring this one. No, I'm going to bring the regular tear and tape. Luis, I don't know if I answered your question, but let me know. And I'm bringing just one piece. We're going to add in here. And then I'm going to add another piece. This is part of the mechanism, so it really needs to be well glued. And you know, I'm just making sure that this stays where it needs to stay. So I'm just putting two pieces in there together. Where's my take your pick? Sorry, kind of got lost. And then I am actually going to put an extra piece. I know that's pretty extra, but I just feel that the more the better, right? This is going to move back and forth and back and forth. You're probably going to see it, and or maybe not, I don't know. So this piece needs to go in here. This is the top, remember, so it needs to go that way. Now this paper does not have a pattern direction, so it's okay. All we're doing is adding it to, am I doing this correctly? I think so. We're adding it here. Let me move this up here again so you guys can see. In the corner. So I'm adding corner with corner. Okay. So there, corner with corner. I am making sure it's straight. And let me show you back up here. Okay. So, and I apologize because I need to figure out how to make this fit better, like move or zoom in better. So we're going to do the same thing in here. It takes a little bit of time, but I rather have enough than not enough. And partially because it is, you know, we're on the live. The truth is, I will not use glue, right? Okay. So one and one last piece. It takes nothing. Just making sure it's going to all work and it's well glued and not going anywhere. The problem when you do this is that if you make a mistake, then it's very hard to tear it off, you know. And now we're going to bring our next one, and just like we did with the other, we align corner with corner, and that is part of our mechanism. So what's going to happen is, and it's harder when there's not, but this is going to come in here just like that. So we'll have a pull up, It's harder. You need like the other piece, and that's where that panel you were asking for, so, and it pulls back out. Okay, so now we're going to bring the panel that we decorated, this panel, and this panel is going to go, let me make it that way, it's just easier to see. Yes, so we are going to align the edge with this score line. Okay, so let's go ahead, and that's going to go right in there. There we go. Now, very important, and I'm saying this out of the sad experience that it was for me. Be mindful of two things. This needs to be extended. So I am actually going to bring one of those blocks and put it there so it's extended, because if it's not extended because of all the pieces that we have scored, then it moves and this moves, and then you'll glue it wrong. Just saying, because that happened to me. Okay, so we have that extended. We're going to adhere these all the way there, right, to this piece. So we're to that score line. So, and we're going to make sure that there is more or less the same distance here from the edge to the panel and from the edge to the panel, right? It does not have to be perfect, guys, but just putting it out there. And what I'm going to do, right, so I'm going to bring one of these big ones and use this one instead of putting two, just because that way we can speed up. This is not my take your pick, just saying. And in case you didn't notice, so I'm going to put this one in here. I'm going to adhere these, so I'm extending this here, right? I'm holding it so I can really pay attention. And this needs to be aligned. So the score line with the edge, okay? And so I'm going to move this a little bit so I can actually do this as best as I can. Now, here's where it gets tricky, and we're going to use glue in case it gets too tricky and I make a mistake. I'm going to bring glue in here. Oh, you know what? Maybe it has to be straight down. Like, I can't stress that enough. One of the versions I made was totally crooked because this was not straight enough. And the version that I ended up leaving, because I was like, okay, whatever, it's all the way here. You'll see it. Thank you, Sus. I'm glad you like it. Okay, so I'm adding these the best I can right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a little bit of glue, and I'm going to put glue in here. And I'm slowly going to add this. There it goes. So it's right there. I'm going slowly, and that's why I'm using glue. So it's going to stay sort of there, but now it's aligned there, but I now need to see the sides, right? So I'm moving now sides, making sure again that it is kind of centered. And now go back here. See that it has not glued, and it has not glued because I am trying just to move these slowly in a way that I make sure everything is going to be aligned. And I think that is looking fairly centered. Now that glue will eventually start gluing, right? And then we'll be able to work that out. It seems like it's okay. The last thing I want to do before I cross, before I push that one and actually glue that moved. That's so not cool. Is, okay, I just want to make sure that when these goes up, then I'm just making sure that you don't see a whole lot of that other, like that folding piece. And I still can't see it, but I'm going to leave it there. So if you put it like with any other fan fold, right? If you put it right next to it, it's going to be harder to move. Okay, so that is where this goes. So this is really cool because then you can actually make this kind of a mini album. So you can put pictures here, you can make decorations here, you can put notes here. This will open, and then you'll have all this space also. That is kind of okay. I think we did okay. And then what happens, and I'll show you. Let's do the last decoration. So these middle piece goes in here, okay? And so we're going to add the pieces, And I am using the Pretty in Pink that comes with the workshop. And I actually, it's so funny, I at the beginning I was not super excited about the double colors, but I have to say um, that I really like that that it has two colors, that cardstock, right? I didn't think I was going to like it, but I ended up liking it. And I think that what I like is that it gives you different shades. And so you're able to play a little bit more when you have DSP. And, it doesn't match perfectly. For example, what I'm trying to say, like pieces like plaid stuff, you will have a dark one, but if you wanted to match the lighter one, that's when it comes in handy. And so I'm going to bring this beautiful piece of cake that we're going to add in here in the middle, and just centering that there. I'm going to put it here so I can actually see. And I don't think I put any glue on the candle, so I'm going to go back in here and add a little bit of glue. And of course I put too much glue, because why not? Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm glad that you like it. And I have to say, I really like the colors. Okay, so this piece is going to go in all these areas. So you can't put glue all over in here. This piece in itself is not going to move. And so glue will do. And it measures the exact, so it fits exactly on the mechanism. And so just make sure it's a little bit above the score line of the mechanism, that score line there, because like we said, so that is how this looks. Let me okay, Elizabeth. So see what I'm saying, what I was saying initially, that you will need like for things to kind of match. So here we go. So the card will look like this, it'll be wrapped in here. Then you open, and then you have, so this has a lot of potential to put messages and whatever. I am going to stamp a piece and put something here, and then it opens like this, and it stays like that. And so these three pieces need to match. And so you actually hold it here, and this is when it makes it easier. See? Right there. It's so much easier. I don't need, I forgot to bring it out, but I'm going to grab a little circle and put a pull in here, so the person that receives it knows that they have to pull. So they receive it like this, and they have to pull in here, right? And then it has still another piece, and you can like put extra decorations or stuff. It will also close like this, because this provides some support. So that is the card pretty much. And we're at 7 o'clock, guys. This is kind of a important, how you call it, important milestone. So I'll show you the other one. This is why I did this way. So all my layers, of course. The next piece, so I have this beautiful thing in here that I am going to put in here. This is just a sticker. I love it. And then I wanted these kind of very scrapbooky, but I think that's going to look so beautiful. So let's go ahead and stamp, because I do have stamping. And so I use one of the pieces of the DSP, and we're going to stamp that happy birthday in here. And I am going to go with, actually, you think Summer Splash would be too much? Or do we go Coastal Cabana? I just want something that you can see. I'm thinking Pretty in Pink. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to bring these back in here and stamp that. I love you. I mean, we've had this conversation about 500 times. I love this, the Misty. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my happy birthday, and there it goes. And so, because it's like this, let me move this out of the way. And this close and out of the way too. I am so glad you guys like it. Let's bring our friend. So I'm going to bring our flower here, right? And it just looks so beautiful. The colors, it's just the whole set is look it just looks so beautiful. In case you didn't know, I really like it. And I'm gonna put mostly in the center, glue in the center, because I don't want it to go overboard. And I actually should have glued these piece first. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. And there it is. Yeah, I should have done that without gluing the big flower, because now I can't see that, but nobody's gonna see it anyways, right? Okay, and now we can bring this one, and I was thinking of putting just this one like that, or on top. Not on top. I want it on dimensional, guys. So we are going to bring these and put a couple of them. Not a couple. You guys know I always put a lot of them, and I'm totally okay. Probably, now that I think about it, I should have used the strips. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but that's fine. It's okay. I'm gonna put an extra there, so it's really, really good. Oh, right. It's impressive. So I'm gonna say this. I think I've said this a few times. I realize I'm not a blue person. I'm gonna put some extra glue where there's actually space for it, so it glues well. I like navy blue a lot. So navy blue, one night of navy. I guess navy blue, but absolutely one of my favorites. I cannot deny. I love it. I love it. I love it. um and like the misty moonlight and boho blue, and those blues I love. Pool party I love, but the blueberry bushel and like the previous sure afternoon or Pacific Point, so those tones of blue, I don't know why they just don't get me. I don't understand. So I'm putting these right in there, and hopefully straight, and then it's a little bit off. And now of course you can't, I mean, I don't even know why I had this one here. I don't think I was planning on putting it there. That happens. You can totally put this whatever you want, some extra. I am not going to, because otherwise it'll end up being too long. But so what I really want to do, I want to put a happy birthday here. And I most likely will be using this happy birthday from Patterns from a Friendship. I really like it's bigger. And then this one is really cool because it has a lot of like really nice saying. So I can I can put whichever extra if I want it somewhere else. So I can put the happy birthday here. I can put the bestie in here. That sounds cool. And again, lots of area for you to like really personalize it, right? I don't know why I have that one there, but it is. Now I had, and guys, this is from a while back. I have these, and these I figured that this could work well too. I don't want that to fold too bad. But I am thinking I want pool party actually, guys. And would these be too dark? Let's try this one. So these would be the summer splash. I always mix and match. No, I think it's good because it's got that. So I'm going to put put a few of these. I'm going to put one in there. We're going to put the bigger one like in one corner, maybe there. And I'm going to use all these smaller ones, not all, obviously, but right up here. And then we need one more. Susie's asking, not bright blue. Are you thinking of the stamping? I don't know. If you're talking about these, I don't have any other bright blues. Like I said, not my favorite, guys. It's just really weird for whatever reason. Let's see, where do I want this? I think I want it there. Okay, that one kind of like, it's not going to stick because look at that. That kind of got all out of control in there. So, oh my goodness, for real? There you go. Mostly. There we go, guys. Mostly. Again, mostly, mostly. Okay, so we managed. Woohoo! So I actually didn't think of that. I love when those things happen, right? Don't you? I guess I could have done this differently. I didn't think about that. That works. That's not straight, but that works. I guess what needed to happen in this case is this should have gone inside, and I didn't think about it. So it's too late now. I'm not going to change it. I'll change it later. I'm going to remove this panel because it was with glue. Actually, let's try to do it together. What can happen? What can go wrong? Mostly, maybe? Okay, goodness. There it goes. And all we really need is a hole. Now that's really well glued. Don't you just love it when things glued perfectly? I feel like I'm like committing some sort of sacrifice, you know? Like, what am I thinking? Okay. There is, we manage. We have a few. And our friend goes back in there. We align and ta-da! More glue now though. So especially here in the corner because that's where we made most damaged. And on here, we're gonna follow all the areas that it had glue at. And I'm gonna hold it for 1 second. So it stays there. I'm actually not going to hold it. I'm going to bring my block, hold it. It does provide a perfect holding together. And I'm going to bring you the other one that I made. So figure out that it's that it's tied up. I untie it because I was really looking into it. And it's similar concept that I'm using that Patterns of Friendship Happy Birthday in here. And this is the Unbounded Beauty, the paper, and I forgot the name of these. Oh goodness, why do I always forget things? Anyways, so it is the same concept you're going to see here. Like, I really like these colors. I am more of a softer kind of color, so I really like these colors better, but these are bright and happy and beautiful. And so I'm using things from all paper crafting, right? So I have a congrats here. And then this is what I was telling you guys, see? So when I did this, I was not really paying attention to this was having this folded. And this is how it looks. Sorry, guys. Having this folded, I was not paying attention to that. And when I glue it all together, it was towards this side. Now, after I made a couple of measurements, I realized that, let me bring this in here so you guys can see. This is my cheat sheet. So I realized that when you bring the mechanism in here, there was this end and this end need to be the same size. And in the previous measurement, so in this one, I was missing 1/4 of an inch in here. So that, you know, it looks this way. Obviously, I think whomever sees it will not like really struggle, right? Like, it's cute as it is. They don't need to know. You and I know this is almost perfect, but you can still see a little bit of, it was not perfectly straight. So I actually did this card twice because the first one was totally crooked. And so learning process. So this is the one that we made as a tryout. Then let me show you. The original measurements do not include the extra space. So see, and so I just added that extra 1/4 of in here, so you're able, so it all fits instead of looking like this. I don't really like when it looks like it's about to burst, and I don't know, I just don't love it. This looks much more, I'm not sure what the word is, but it just looks like it fits correctly. And the mechanism does not depend on its opening, like some of the cards that we've made, like pop-ups where you open it and it just like pops up. And you need part of the opening as the part of the mechanism. This does not have that. And so I figured it was worth it to include another 1/4 of an inch in here. So it just all fits. It looks like it fits well. So there you go. These are both cards. Yeah, exactly. I think so, Suze. I think that the added space really works in here, because then now, first of all, like, let me show you this one. Well, let me open this way so I can show you. Now, the card is done, guys. If you need to go, but I just want to show you this. So when you're holding these in here, see how it always kind of like goes down a little bit, right? Oh, thank you. Hi, Tara. How are you feeling? So I just make sure that this was working well, but I think it's more noticeable on this side. And so, see, let me show you this. See how you have a 4th here, but not the 4th here? And that makes a big difference. So now, when you see how this is a little harder to do, you see? And I think it's got to do with this one this piece does not have enough support, because it's, a little smaller. I think it's about 1/8 of an inch smaller, and so it does not have enough support. I'm making that up, guys, but that's what I think is happening in here. So definitely make it 6 instead of 5 7/8, which is this one, and this one is 6. But again, when you go back in here, you see how much easier it goes back and forth. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're doing better, Tara. That's good news. Okay, again, this is a combination of all sorts of things, right? Paper pumpkin kit, the the cards that they made for this specific suite. And yeah, I just used a variety of things. And then this one which is quickly turning into one of my favorite DSPs. And I didn't think that it was going to happen, but I really, really like the colors in it. And so again, I was thinking today that this would look so cool for like a mini album, right? Like sending a mini album to a grandparent. I don't know why I keep thinking about that, but that sounds so cute, right? Like imagine you have like the things, and then you have pictures in here, pictures in there, and then something super cute in the middle. I don't know, I just kept thinking of something. But then if you're going to go that way, then it worked really, really well for a nice wedding card. Thank you, guys. I am so glad that you like it. Or a nice anniversary card, graduation card, like some real cool celebration, right? So I'm just really, really excited about it. So anyways, I'm so glad you guys like it. So anyways, super excited. I love it. This of course needs to be trimmed, and this needs to be burnt. So it's not like getting in threads there, but there you go. Those are our cards. Like I said, guys, I did work ahead of time this time, and did the post is almost ready, and so we'll have that. And so we have the measurements. I can include them down below for those that don't like to move to posts, right? But I will have both. I am not making yet a PDF, because PDF takes a lot of time. Explaining takes me a lot of time, because I get confused on how saying things, and so I go over and over and over again saying the same things, and it just does not work very well for me. Let me move up in here, guys. You don't need to talk to the hands. And so that's one of the reasons why I have not really gone back to PDF. Like they take me quite a bit, and there's a lot to PDFs, right? You have to like write them in Word and do all these decorations and then save them as anyways. Bottom line, not there yet. Hopefully time gets, my work and everything gets a little bit more on the easy side, and or slow down a little bit, and we can get that done. And I am also starting the garden, so we start the garden upstairs. Adrian is asking, thank you guys. I am so glad that you guys like it. Adrian is asking if magnets would do. I think it will, especially in this version, because this is really like, see what I'm saying? Like, this is really working well. Actually, if you go to her channel and you see what she did is in the front, which is this one, she made a slit in here and got like a butterfly. I'm not showing you, sorry guys. That's so funny. Look at that. This is supposed to be green, and it looks almost like brown. That is so interesting. So what the original pose, what she did is she made a slit kind of there, and then put a butterfly, like kind of like so the butterfly goes like inside and you open and the butterfly closes. That's a really creative way to close it. I just did not want to go that way. Oh, thank you. I am so glad you guys like it. I didn't go that route, mainly because one, I didn't want to copy the exact same card, and B, because I have so much ribbon, guys, I have to use it. So this needs to be used, and so, but that's a good option. And I am thinking that in this version, really, Adrian, magnets will work, because I mean, there's not a whole lot. Wait. There, this goes. There's not a whole lot of pushback from the paper, so I think it will work well. And there. Anyways, so I think magnets can be a good idea. I didn't think of them. That's interesting. But anyways, it's fine. Again, I need to use the ribbon, so it's okay. I'm pretty okay using all my ribbon. Yes, the measurements, I actually, like I said, I actually have them ready. And so I'll put them I'll put them down below, because again, I know a lot of people do not like to just go into a link to the blog. Of course, that helps me, but fine. But I'll put them down below, and it will be also included in the blog. Because that way I can send the email to a lot of people that did not, get here. But yeah, all those measurements, I have them already included. Okay. Okay, guys, well, thank you so much for being here. I know that I've been talking quite a bit. It's been less time. I mean, I'm getting better. I don't know what happened. I came back and it just took forever to finish a card. It was really, really long, so I'm sorry about that. We're getting a little better, so I am excited that it's getting a tiny bit better. And I am this month, I guess, I will be participating in both the Stampin' Up! Demos Funfold blog, blog hop, which, by the way, I have to say, I also made a video, already have the video ready. And so, because I think sometimes it's a very simple card. It's a card that's been out a lot because it's very Eastery, but I really like my approach to the card, and so I'm really excited about that one. And I will also be participating in the Global Stamping blog. They have been all super nice, just giving me some extra time for me to accommodate my schedule, but this month at least I can be part of it, and so I am very excited about that. Okay, guys, it's so good to see you. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and of your Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Christina. I am so glad. I feel very important today. We'll see how that goes. The truth is, this is a small community. We've talked about it. This is just so much fun, guys. So I totally appreciate you all. So again, Have a wonderful rest of your week. Have a blessed week as well. And I hope to see you next Tuesday. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful one.